Hey folks, Jessica here. So we're in Genshin Impact, and you probably saw this one coming, but I'm going to do some more pulls on the Childe banner. Don't know yet if I want to C6 him. I've been playing him a lot more, and he's extremely powerful as a burst DPS prior to C6. I feel like if you don't have him at C6, you do need to run another DPS, like a Deluxe whatever, with him to have someone to switch out with to be your main DPS. I'm hesitant to say you need to C6 him, because he works very well as long as you're playing around that. But I think getting him C6 certainly opens the door in order to play him as a main DPS. So still thinking about it, but I just want to pull some more, so we're going to pull some more in the banner. See how it goes. So I think I had just pulled the second Childe in the last pull, so we'll pull some more. We've already maxed out all the 4 stars, so any 4 stars would probably just be Starred Litter, Bido, whatever. I don't know. This game, I understand the need to make these guys such a high rate up, but man, it's annoying because really I'm just pulling for 5 stars at this point. All the 4 stars have long since been Constellation 6'd. Weapons are fine. Weapons can at least act as XP fodder. I don't think I need any, I don't think I still need any 4-star weapons. Well, not anything that's particularly useful anyway.
If we didn't keep moving, we'd freeze to death.
Did they always talk during the character banner? Like, when that first happened, I'm like, who is talking? Anyway, so that's, I think, 20 in, so this is 30. We need to really hit those, early 5 stars. Could really hit the non-guaranteed 5 stars. I think part of it is I want to see how these pulls go to try and like gauge whether or not I really want to go. Because, man, getting Constellation 6 is such an investment. I don't know if I want to. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. With Klee, I wasn't really planning on Constellation 6ing her, but
what the rest of the Harbingers are up to. Plotting and scheming on an ever grander scale, no doubt.
Wow, did they add talk lines? These guys are so talkative now. But yeah, on Klee, I wasn't really intending to C6 her because she doesn't really need C6 per se. But you know, you saw how those rolls went. They went very well. So we'll see. Childe, I think Childe definitely benefits from it a lot more than Klee does. So that's 40 pulls in. We'll hit at least one guaranteed 5-star in this. This is likely going to be several videos put together, because I usually do these in batches rather than just sitting down and banging out all the summons at once.
Keep moving, we'd freeze to death.
Childe,
literally.
Buddy, you need to Chatty Catty. Come on, we need early 5 stars. That's not an early 5-star. So what are we, 50 in? What we could really use is a nice spicy double Childe pull. I mean, it happened with Klee. Think this is 60? No. Some people have said that there's like a soft guarantee, like your rate of 5-star, like you start getting a higher chance to get 5 stars as you get closer to 90. That sounds like crazy superstition to me, but I mean, alright, whatever. I only plan on the guaranteed 5 stars. Okay, so this should be 70. Excuse me? What is this? Why are you showing me the beginner wish banner? That's weird, but alright. Okay, so I think we'll do one more. This is... I lost track. Okay, there we go. I think that's earlier. We need this to be a Childe. Childe? 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 Barbara? Childe? 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 Oh my god, the Chi-Chis. I'm so sick of Chi-Chi. Like, honestly. Like, no, I'll just say it. I don't want more Chi-Chis. Get out of here, Chi-Chi. Like, I'm gonna Const 6 Chi-Chi at this point. What does this do? Lowers the attack of characters with Fortune Preserving Talisman. Alright. Fine. Here's the thing. Like, I can't get mad at 5 stars, but man, I don't want more Chi-Chis. Like, she's good, but like I just don't want 5-star healers. 69, nice. Give me this. Yeah. Alright, so our child pulls have not gone great so far. The next one's gonna be a guaranteed child. We need to pull some early 5-stars though to make up for the lack of momentum so far. Lack of momentum. Ugh. So the next 5-star should be child. I guess I'll get him in Constellation 3 at least, because that increases his damage. Then beyond that, we will see. We will see. Okay, so we'll do one more for now, and then I'll cut, and then we'll be back with more pulls, likely down the road. So I do want to get more child? No, not really 5-star. Okay. Alright, well, I'm so mad at that Chi-Chi. Like, Chi-Chi's not bad. Chi-Chi is actually one of the strongest characters in the game. It's just, I don't really want high Constellation healers. In fact, I'd rather have a Jean right now than Chi-Chi, because Jean's next Constellation, while I think Jean's just not nearly as good as Chi-Chi, does have an interesting effect, because it means she can buff everyone's attack speed and movement speed when she picks up a particle. But yeah. You know, another thing with getting Chi-Chi high is when we start getting, oh, this is a scary thought. When we start getting Constellation 6 when we get Constellation 6 permanent banner 5-stars, we're going to start getting spooked by these, and it's going to be a major feels bad, because all it's going to give us is, like, I think 25 star glitter, so not worth it. But alright, let's cut, and then I'll probably be back some more pulls later. Alright, we're back, and we're doing some more pulls for child. So we had just pulled Chi-Chi, so I think we're fairly close to being reset on our pulls towards guaranteed 5-star, but our next 5-star should be a guaranteed child, since we had pulled a non-child on the last one. Yes, Chi-Chi's a child, haha, someone already made that joke to me. Let's just jump right into it. So, we need to start hitting these early 5-stars, I think. Part of me just wants to, like, cut to the chase and, like, just show you me pulling the 5-star pulls, but I don't know, I feel like this drama is important. Like, I want to take you along for every step of the pulls. So that's, I think this is 30, because I think we just done a 10 before this. I don't remember exactly when we pulled Chi-Chi. Oh, and we're gonna pull for, I guess, we'll pull for at least one 5-star, maybe twice for a 5-star in this next batch of pulls. I don't rightly know what 4-stars I still need. Also, I think like they might mostly be glitter. So we're doing that many primo gems. So this should be 40. Really 5-star? No. Really want to just mash skip. This game also makes it a little bit tricky hit skip, because you have to click and then the skip prompt comes up, then you hit skip, then you accept. So I guess we'll just click through it. We have long since maxed out. Here, I'll check. Once I grab a 5-star child, I will look to see what 4-stars I still need. Early 5-star? No. We have not been hitting those early 5-stars very frequently. Excuse me. Okay. So, let's see. I think I have no idea. 60 in, 70 in. We must be close to the guaranteed 5-star by now. And that's still not it. I would guess the next batch of 10 pulls should be a guaranteed 5-star. I think even more than the early 5-stars, we need to hit back-to-back childs. Okay, next pull should be a 5-star, I think. We'll see. We're close. Yeah, let's see it. So this should be a child. Ningguang? There's child, so now we're Constellation 2 child. That's a nice pull. Okay, so let's see where we're at in terms of constellations for everybody. So we talked briefly about breakpoints for Childe I think are important. So here, let me just... Constellation 2 Childe. So Constellation, brief recap. Constellation 1 lowers the cooldown of its melee stance switch. Very important, I think. I mean, if you are free to play, then Constellation 0 Childe is fine. But I think if you got enough gems to go for a Constellation 1's pretty good because it lets you switch more often. 2 is not that important. It lets you generate elemental energy when you kill stuff. I mean, that it's nice to have, but it's really not that exciting. 3 is it makes his melee stance do more damage, and that's actually pretty important for him since he does so much damage in melee stance. 4 makes him do a dot, basically. It makes him proc a dot on anybody has Riptide on, which is like everybody he fights almost. So this is like 3 and 4 are very nice. So 1's important, 3 is important, 4 is important. 5, I mean, it's his charge attack hits for his elemental burst hits for a lot. But I mean, I wouldn't say it's like super core to his kit, but it's nice to have. It's more damage on his elemental burst, so it's nice. Plus, with 2, he can probably actually spam his elemental burst on cooldown. I want to say, because if you're just clearing like trash mobs, you'll probably charge your elemental burst really fast. Because I don't actually think this has a cooldown on how fast it can proc. So like, you know, 2 works well with 5. But the big one, obviously, is 6, the one that lets him reset his melee stance when he elemental bursts. This completely changes how he plays. So that's kind of the prize. Let's see, who do we not have max Constellation on? So, here, we'll just do the full Constellation rundown. So we have 2 Constellation Childe, 1 Constellation Jean, Constellation 6 Venti, Constellation 3 Deluxe, Chi-Chi is Constellation 4, Kaching is 2, Mona is 4, Klee is 6, Ningguang 6, Changling is 6, Fischl 6, Barbara 6, main character 6 in Animal. I think my main character might be 6 in Geo, so I actually haven't swapped my main character Geo in a while. Bida 6, Razor 6, Amber 6, Noelle 6, Changyang is not 6. Sucrose is 6, Diona is 6, Kaya's not 6. So Changyang's 4, Kaya's 5, Lisa's 6, Chinkui, I have no idea how to say your name. Chinkui? I have no idea. The water support character is 6, and Bennett's 6. So it looks like we just need a Kaya and two Changyangs, and then Deluxe and a bunch of the 5 stars, and then we have everything. So let's get back into pools. So I'm not gonna take. I still don't know. I kind of like. I want to get Childe Constellation 4. The trap of constellations is when you get them to like when you get to 3, like when you get to 2, it's like I might as well get 3 because 3 is more damage on skill and it's a lot of extra damage. And then when you get to 3, it's like, oh well, 4 is really good. And then when you get to 4, it's like, oh well, 5's. I mean, we're pretty close to 6, but 5 is like, you know, more damage. So let's get 5, and then like you get to 5, and then it's like, well, you're at 5, you might as well get 6. That's how it happens. It's you snowball into it. So you gotta be careful. You gotta keep your guard up. We need to hit these early 5 stars. Is what we really need to do if we're gonna get Constellation 6 Childe. Saying you gotta do it makes it more likely. I don't make the rules. I did not check much star glitter I have. Let me do like, okay, so let's do 20. I'll do 40 pulls and then I'll check my star glitter. So this is 20. Fido. Okay, this is 30. Really 5 star? No. I think we've basically been hitting the guaranteed 5 stars. Which, you know, 0.6 rate is what you're gonna see most of the time. But, you know, I choose to believe that we can pull off a spicy early 5 star. Early 5 star?
You take a rest while
early 5 star. Feeling it? Not feeling it. Okay, that's 40. Let me go check Starred Litter now. Because we'll get a bunch of pulls from Starred Litter as well. Okay, so how much Starred Litter do we have? A ton. 16 pulls, I will take it. And I don't need anything else for there. Okay. This is 50. Early 5-star. No. No. Come on. Okay, if you're not gonna give me early 5 stars, I'll at least take back-to-back Childs. I think that's even more important than the early 5 stars. So that was 50. So we've got 4 more 10 pulls before we hit the guarantee. So this will be 60. Actually counting this time. Early 5-star? No. Fiercely clicking. And then this is, I think 70. Early 5-star. Yeah, there we go. A little bit early, but is it a child? That's what we really need. Child? Buddy, is that you? Child? Child. Child? 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 Getting nervous now. Child? Child. Stig's getting into my kitty. Child? Okay. This next one is gotta be the 5-star, so... not child. This next one's gotta be it. I'm legitimately nervous. Child? That's a child. Okay, we're on track. We're on track. We're on track. So, because I mean, if we keep on hitting like child, not child, child, not child, child, not child, it's gonna take a ton of pulls to get there. But hitting back-to-back childs really helps because now we're getting there. I'm not gonna say we're there because we're not, but we're getting there. So now we've got additional damage on his elemental skill, which is big because if you didn't know, his elemental skill controls all the damage he does in his melee stance. So that's a significant increase in damage. So that's nice. So the question is, do we go for 6? I mean, I know some of you are like, of course you're going to go for 6. I don't want to go for 6 on every single freaking 5-star, because it is legitimately a lot of investment. So we'll see. But we're halfway there. So, to be continued. I'll clip all these together into one big video if we do end up going for 6. If we don't, then yeah, I'll catch you on the other side of the cut, but we'll see. Still thinking about 6. Okay, we're gonna do some more pulls for child. Let's see how it goes. So we had just pulled another child, so we're gonna pull for at least one more 5-star. We'll see how it goes. If I can hit back-to-back-to-back childs, that's gonna definitely help the path to C6 a lot. Widsip, by the way. Haven't seen one of those in a bit. Widsip's actually a pretty good 4-star weapon for a bursty DPS that pops in. That's a Catalyst user, obviously. Okay. Need to hit those early 5-stars, but more so, back-to-back childs. This is 20 pulls. These 4-star characters are basically refunded on pulls for us because we only have them at Constellation 6. Let me adjust my light a little. There we go. Okay. I'll do a litter check in like... I'll do 4 more pulls and then I'll do a litter check to see if we can get some more pulls off the litter. Early 5-star? No. I feel like we haven't hit any really early 5-stars. Like, I mean, obviously we haven't hit back-to-back child. Like, we hit back-to-back childs, but we haven't hit, like, 2 childs in one pull, like we do with play. Can't really bank on that, but, you know, it'd be nice. It'd be nice. I believe. Alright, I think this is 30 pulls in. That sounds right. Might be 40. I've lost track. I don't know why I always lose track. It'd be nice if there was just a counter. Like, Honkai, Third Impact, has a counter to show you how many times you pulled. Which helps a lot because there's this whole guarantee system, so you want to know how many pulls towards the guarantee you're getting.
Dead. By which I mean
40? 50? I don't know. Early 5-star? Not early 5-star. I don't know why this is my early 5-star stance. It's like bracing for it. If we do hit another guaranteed 5-star, again, that's fine. It's just, it's gotta be Child. We need to pull Childs. We don't need to pull Childs, but it'd be nice if we pull Childs. Let's check our glitter. So we got enough glitter for almost another 10 pull. It's all very helpful. I've heard various people talk about early 5-stars. No. I've heard various people talk about whether or not it's better to do single pulls. I don't know. Maybe. I'd be surprised if it actually made any kind of difference. Like substantively over like a large sample set, but it also takes quite a while to do that, so I'm not going to do singles right now. Early 5-star? No. I'd be more inclined to do singles, honestly, if there was like more exciting 4-stars we would potentially pull, but there's not, so I'm not really inclined to do single pulls. I think we're creeping up on the guarantee. I'm not sure how many we're at. 5-star? There we go. I don't know if it's early or not. I have to check the footage. Okay, we really need this to be a child. We really need this to be a child. Ding Wong? Or Bido, sorry. Child? 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 I mean, it's 50% rate up on Child, so maybe. Child? Child. That's a gene. Okay, not exactly what we're looking for, obviously. Well, obviously not what we're looking for, but I did mention this in the earlier video. I do want a Constellation 2 on Gene. Constellation 1 on Gene, Galeblade does more damage. Who cares? But this one is interesting for Gene, because this, I think, actually makes her rather unique in she's one of the few characters. Whenever she picks up an elemental particle, which is frequent, you increase movement and attack speed for 15 seconds for the party by 15%. That's actually quite a nice buff. The rest of her stuff, it's like, it's whatever, but that's like Constellation 2 Gene is a nice breakpoint. Alright, I said we pull for one 5-star. So we'll stop here, but I'll be back. Okay, we're back. The last time we pulled a Gene. So the next 5-star we get should be Tartaglia, Child. So that'll put us at Constellation 4, and I'm pretty sure we're going to go for 6 stars. I didn't realize this before. I don't know why I didn't realize it, because it's really obvious, but I didn't realize it. Child is literally the whale constellation. Like, I don't mean he's, like, the character for whales. I mean, literally his constellation is a whale. So I think that does obligate us to pull for Constellation 6. That's a good reason, right? Let's jump right into it. So I believe we had just pulled a 5-star. So we're back at early 5-star? No. We're back at well, this is 10 pulls towards the guarantee 5-star, which will definitely be a Child. So we'll pull until we run out of crystals. Probably gonna do 1 or 2 more like little batches of pulls before we get all the way to 6-star. So we'll see. I mean, we could just pull 3 Childs right now and then, you know, get Constellation 6 that way, right? It could happen. After the Klee pulls, I believe. There we go. Early 5-star. Early 5-star. It's what we like to see. So this should be a guaranteed Child. So that was a 5-star at 20 pulls in. And like this is almost assuredly a Child if the guarantee holds true. And there he is. There's Constellation 4 Child. And a Stringless, nice. Working on my second Stringless. Stringless is bad for Child, by the way. His melee attacks do not count as elemental skill. So when you do that, that initial burst of damage does count as elemental skill, but these do not. So stringless, not that good for Childe. Alright, so this is the big one. Well, it's one of the big ones. This one makes it so he basically has an additional dot against everything, a damage over time effect against everything that has Riptide, his little mark on them. So this one's pretty important. Next one increases the damage of his Elemental Burst, which hits quite hard, by the way. So this is nice. And then the last one is obviously the really important one, the one that lets him basically reset his elemental skill and elemental burst. So, Constellation 4 Childe. So let's just pull the rest of our pulls. We'll see what we get. And you know, that was a very early 5-star. That was like 20 something pull. That's like, yeah, that was like 20 pulls in. It's like 16 pulls in, but whatever. So early 5-star, 20 pulls in. If we hit back-to-back Childe, that'd be great. Another early 5-star? No. That was, we haven't been hitting a lot of the early 5-stars. So, they definitely help. Not sure if I have enough crystals right now to pull for a, a guaranteed 5-star. But we'll see. We'll see how far we get. I'll pull entire round of crystals. So that was 10. This is 20. Been doing the new event with Fischl. I love Fischl. Like, I liked Fischl before, but like her actual scenes where she talks to me, I love her. She is such a chuny princess. I love her. I love those chuny princesses. Like, she's just so extra. And I'm curious. 5-star? No. I'm curious with Fischl, because I'm not sure if they'll tell in the story, but I can't quite tell if she's legitimately an intergalactic princess from another dimension or whatever, or if she's just nuts. She does have a talking raven, a talking magic raven, so that tends to inclines me to believe that she's legitimately what she says she is, like a princess from another dimension or whatever. Alright, so what is that, 20? So this is 30? Haven't done the math, I'm not sure if we can hit that guaranteed 5-star. We'll be close. All of these banner 4-stars. I'm trying to think if we hit any. I don't think we've hit any 4-stars that weren't the banner 4-stars.
To seek out our enemies than, well, standing here.
He's so sassy, Childe. Tartaglia. It's what, 40? Guaranteed? No, not guaranteed. 5-star? No, not 5-star. So sassy. I like the sassy characters. Childe's also bloodthirsty. It's not a thing that comes across until like the latest story stuff things, but if you listen to his even his like idle lines, super bloodthirsty, always talking about killing people. It's great. I'm into it.
If we didn't keep moving, we'd freeze to death. Literally.
Literally. Is this 50? Really 5-star? No. We're gonna be close. We're gonna be at like probably 80. Alright, I should actually check my glitter. Let's check glitter real fast. How much glitter do we have? We have... Oh, we have quite a lot of glitter. Oh yeah, take it. Okay, so... This should be 60. 5-star? No. I don't know why I always lose track. This is why there should be a counter. I'm just saying. Okay, so then I guess this is 70? Yeah, we're gonna hit like 80, I think. 5-star? That's what we like to see. Is there a child, though? If we hit back-to-back childs, that'd be awesome. Child? 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 There we go. Back-to-back 5 stars. There's C5 child. So, we are, we're getting close. We just need one more. We just need one more, and then we're done. We're done. That'll be C6 child. Just one more.
What the harbingers are up to? Plotting and scheming on an ever grander scale, no doubt.
I really want to meet the other harbingers. Child's harbinger 11? I don't know which one Signora is. Signora, I don't think they call out which harbinger she is, but I really want to meet the other harbingers. Okay, so we are now Constellation 5 child. This is more damage on his elemental burst. So we could hit another child. That's a weird sense. If we could hit another Tartaglia, not a child, if we could get another child, then we would be done. C6 child, Tartaglia. I'm just going to call him Tartaglia. Calling him child's weird. Okay. So yes, back in the next batch. Alright, one more child we're going to get in this batch for sure. Technically I should do singles because I'm pretty close to that guarantee, but I'm just, no, do tentacles. Don't got time for singles. There it is. We are super close. This should be, there he is, the man himself, Tartaglia. C6 child, C6 Tartaglia, let's go. Be funny if we pulled 2 childs right now. I say that's funny, it wouldn't be funny. But it could happen. It'd be a little funny. I would laugh. I would laugh at her. Yeah, Sucrose. No one likes you. Someone likes you, it's fine, Sucrose, you're cool. I see you, Sucrose. I like you, Sucrose. I just don't use you. There's just always someone in my comment section that wants to like White Knight for Sucrose. I don't get it. But yeah, she's fine. Okay, C6 child, there we go. And then like C300 Sucrose. If you haven't seen my other pull videos, you'll understand. I pull a crap ton of Sucroses. I pulled so many Sucroses going for Klee. Alright, so here we go, C6 child. So I'll do a little, like, I'll run around him and hit some stuff so you can see what he's like. But I'll do a full spotlight video on child with some thoughts on bows and equipment later. But for now, let's just give him C6 and then I'll go beat some stuff up. There we go. Bingo bango, done. Bingo bango, got the whale constellation completed. It's literally a whale. I had to. I had no choice. Had to get C6 on the whale. Had to finish the whale constellation. I'm probably not going to C6 Zhongli. I'm almost certainly not going to C6 Zhongli. I haven't looked a lot in his constellations, but Child is definitely one of those where you really benefit from C6, so I don't feel too bad about this. Plus, it's the whale. But yeah, I don't want C6 Zhongli, because I don't want C6 everybody. So after cut, we'll go beat some stuff up. Okay, I'm in Abyss 9-1, because it just reset, to really quickly show Child's C2, his C4, and his C6. 2 basically makes it so he gains elemental energy back when he kills somebody that has Riptide, his little mark on them, and that helps him charge his elemental burst really fast, as you'll see. C4 is the one that makes it so if he's in melee stance, enemies Riptide take ticks of damage every 4 seconds, and it's quite a lot of damage. And C6 is, as we've talked about before, if you elemental burst, it makes it so when you switch back into bow mode, it resets the cooldown on his elemental skill, allowing him to immediately switch back into melee mode. So he'd effectively just always stay in melee mode. So we'll show all of that real fast. I'm going to initially get his mark up on everybody just to show you what the dot damage looks like, and it's quite significant. Okay, so like everybody's got his mark on, and just all that damage is just from his mark, from his C4. They're basically just dying from that entirely. So let me get marks up on everybody again, and now I can elemental burst, and his elemental burst will charge extremely fast. As you can see, it's almost full again. That's from his C2. Now if I drop back into I already did drop back into bow mode, and you notice my elemental skill is off cooldown, so I can just go back into melee mode. I can just always go back into melee mode. So if I do that, if I don't kill everybody with this, which I might, I can drop back into bow mode if I want. My elemental mode's off cooldown. I can just drop back and forth. As long as I elemental burst first, I can always drop into melee mode at will. So that's C2, charge elemental burst fast. C4, crazy dot damage everybody has his Riptide. C6, basically can always just switch back into melee mode as long as you elemental burst it first. So yeah, Childe really benefits from Constellation. So I will give you some conclusions after the cut. That was a really brief look at Tartaglia at C6. I will do a full spotlight on him later when I have more time to play around with him. But yeah, C6 Tartaglia, C6 Childe, pretty nuts. He's definitely one of those characters that starts out strong. Like C0 Childe is still very strong. It's just he's a little bit more niche. And every single constellation you get is going to make him that much more powerful. Like, there's a lot of characters where some of the constellations are like, but with Tartaglia, it's like this natural progression of getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and then super strong when you get to Constellation 6. Like, let's just take a look at them real fast. So, Constellation 1, right? This decreases the cooldown of his elemental skill. This is good if you want to get any constellation on him, but you don't want to whale. This is not relevant once you get 6, because 6 essentially just lets you reset your melee skill. So this one becomes dead if you go all the way to 6. But if you don't go all the way to 6, this one's really important. 2 is one that isn't super exciting, but as you saw, this is when opponents are affected by Riptide, if they are defeated, he will gain 4 elemental energy. This lets him charge his elemental burst really fast. Really, really fast. And then 3 is 3 and 5 are always plus 3 skill levels to his elemental skill and his elemental burst. That's the same for everybody. And those are both really good because remember, while he's in melee stance, his melee attack damage is governed by this skill. It's not governed by his normal attack skill. And that's big because there aren't a lot of ways to increase this skill. So this being the thing that governs all its melee hits is a pretty big deal. Additionally, it makes skilling him up easier because you can just focus on that. And then 4 is the one I think a lot of people don't talk about as much, but as you saw, there's quite a lot of extra damage. So if Tartaglia is in Foul Legacy Raging Tide's melee stance, so in his melee stance, it will cause Riptide Slash to trigger against opponents on the field affected by Riptide every 4 seconds. That's a lot of damage. Every 4 seconds, they're going to take a tick of damage as if you Riptide Slashed them from this. So, as you saw, quite significant. And then 5, as we said, increases elemental burst damage. And then 6. When Havoc Obliteration is cast in melee stance, the cooldown of Foul Legacy Raging Tide is reset. This effect only takes place once Tartaglia returns to his range stance. That's important, because I know some people initially thought, hey, can't you just run something like, where is it? Sacrificial Bow on him? Thing is, Sacrificial Bow, all sacrificial weapons, when you hit someone with an elemental skill, it resets the cooldown of the elemental skill. So some initial thoughts, and I thought it might work that way as well, is you would use this, and then your melee stance hits would trigger this, and then it would reset, so you could switch back at will. However, that doesn't work, because remember, when he's in melee stance, his elemental skill is to switch to range stance. So if you reset the cooldown, there was no cooldown. You're just resetting the cooldown of switching to range stance, which is not what you want to do. You want to reset the cooldown of switching to melee stance. So that doesn't work at all on him. So that's why this thing is worded specifically to say that this will only take place once Tartaglia returns to his range stance. So that's the important caveat there, and small tidbit if you're wondering what bows to use on him. Also note that in terms of skill damage, I mentioned this earlier, the only thing that counts as elemental skill damage is the initial burst of damage when you initially switch into melee stance. Actual melee hits don't count as skill damage and are also not bolstered by this part of Stringless. So Stringless isn't that good for him either. 2 things to know. But yeah, let's talk about the stats, what I'm running just real quick. Stats. My Tartaglia is level 90, his attack is 2,258, and his elemental mastery is a whopping 58. His crit rate is 87.3%, and his crit damage is 123.6%. He is using a crit rate hat right now. I might switch that at some point for a crit damage hat since he got a little bit more crit rate than is necessary, but something to think about. And his hydro damage bonus is 75.4%. His skills, his normal attack talent is 7, his elemental skill talent is 10, and his elemental burst talent is 9. His artifacts, he is running all 5-star artifacts at plus 20. He's running 2-piece Gladiator Finale, 2-piece Noblesse Oblige, and 1-piece Maiden Beloved. Let's look at the artifacts and I'll tell you why. So this flower is pretty good. The defense roll here is a miss, but everything else on it's great. Attack, crit rate, crit damage. Let's see it. This feather's not bad. It's crit rate and crit damage, but it's got quite a lot of elemental mastery, and it's got HP, but it's okay. And then this pocket watch is, again, okay. This Maiden Beloved piece, though, obviously not running it for healing, because he doesn't heal. This thing is almost perfectly rolled. This thing's only miss is this one defense roll. Otherwise, this thing is perfectly rolled. It's 10% crit rate, 21% crit damage on a single artifact, and it's hydro damage bonus. So this thing, gonna be using it for quite some time on Childe, I imagine. His hat, as I mentioned, is crit rate. I kind of want to try a crit damage hat instead. We'll see. I'll play around with it a little bit. And then weapons. Another reason he has so much crit is he's running Skyward Harp. This is level 90. This is a 5-star bow at Refinement 1. And I think this is his best in slot weapon. I feel pretty strongly that Skyward Harp is his best in slot weapon. Even at Refinement 1. The one people always bring up is Rust as a competitor, and I do think Rust is a solid second place option. Rust is very strong, but I do think Skyward Harp is better. So the reason people like Rust is at Refinement 5, which is considerably easier than Refinement 5 on Skyward Harp, is 80% extra normal attack damage. It's 40% at Refinement 1, if you're wondering. The reason why I don't like it as much as Skyward Harp is it's only normal attack damage. Now, if you're in melee stance, his melee normals, those do get boosted by that. And that's why people like this. That's a considerable amount of damage boosted. So at Refinement 1, it would be 40% extra normal attack damage, right? Let's compare that to like a Refinement 1 Black Sword, which is 20% normal attack and charge attack damage, though. So it's double. The scaling of that's quite high. However, the reason I don't like Rust as much as Skyward Harp is it's only normal attack damage. So it doesn't affect his elemental burst. It doesn't affect things like Riptide. It doesn't affect his charge attacks. And his charge attacks in melee stance do a lot of damage. In fact, I believe, I haven't done a lot of checking to confirm this, but I believe it's counting charge attack in melee stance as an aim shot. So I think it's actually decreasing the charge attack damage. It's a little bit hard to tell because it's not getting the plus 80%, that's for sure. So, yeah, that's the issue of Rust. Skyward Harp, not as big a bonus, but its bonus is crit damage here, and that affects everything. Also, it's crit rate as a secondary stat, and I kind of like crit rate better as a secondary stat than raw attack. But you do have to kind of juggle around pieces to compensate for that. That's the whole crit rate hat versus crit damage hat thing I was talking about. But in addition to the crit damage, which affects everything, it's elemental burst, riptide, normals, charge attacks, whatever, even bow shots. In addition to that, it does have this proc here, which is 60% chance of doing an AoE every 4 seconds. That can occur once every 4 seconds for 125% physical attack damage. That thing hits pretty hard and goes off pretty often. Like 60% chance, like, is basically it will happen almost on cooldown because he attacks so fast. And then the last reason is, I mentioned this before, but a lot of people don't think about this. I believe Rust at level 90 is 510 base attack. Skyward Harp at level 9 is 674 base attack. Remember, that's base attack. Base attack is what gets multiplied by attack percentage. So that is a huge difference in base attack. And that's another reason why I like Skyward Harp better. Granted, put things in perspective, Skyward Harp's a 5-star bow, Rust is a 4-star bow. They're both gotcha weapons. So if you're looking for a 4-star option, Rust definitely is your best bet. And I mentioned this earlier, but Stringless is not good on him because only that initial burst of damage when you switch into melee stance counts as elemental skill damage. His regular attacks in melee stance do not count as elemental skill damage, so this is not great on him. It does increase his elemental burst damage, which does hit pretty hard, though. So yeah, that's just some quick thoughts on bows. Hopefully you enjoyed this pull video and this brief showcase of Tartaglia at Constellation 6. I'll do a longer Constellation video on him later when I've got more time to play with him. But yeah, Tartaglia, pretty strong at Constellation 6. I really like how he plays at C6. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!